Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode. If you've heard my last one, the last trip to the DMV, had another trip to the DMV today, and it was just as epic as the first one. Had everything lined up, working to put my vehicle in the trust, and thought I had everything, right? Thought I had everything. And it was another epic failure. But with failure comes learning lessons, and I had some really big ones today. And the big learning lessons were the whole aspect of failing was actually a blessing in disguise. And the reason that it was because I thought I could just transition my vehicles into trust and refinance them. And it turns out that if I did that, I'd pay taxes. Now, my goal was to actually do this exercise as a way to have better estate planning in place and to avoid paying taxes. I learned that if I had done everything correctly today and had brought the right information in, that I would have been taxed. And that was not the goal. So to be able to avoid getting taxed on the vehicles that my wife and I already own outright was a huge kind of relief and blessing. And I was just writing notes furiously down as I'm learning everything from the DMV representative. And what it really just goes to show is, even at times where you feel like, man, I did this before, I thought I had everything right, but I still hadn't figured it out yet, there's still learning lessons. And what you need to take from it is perspective. I can look at it one way and say, hey, you know what? I went to the DMV again for the second time after it took me another month to make an appointment, and I'm back at square one. But I'm not at square one. I'm making progress. So even though this is kind of month 2, going into month 2, trying to figure out how to transition vehicles into trust, I'm still creating progress. I still got that first step done. So the learning lesson I had today, the big one was, if you're going to refinance anything, do it in your name first. It doesn't really just go for cars, also goes for real estate. But after you do the refinance, then transition into trust. And working with the DMV is no different. So that was the big learning lesson for today. Also learned, never put whiteout on a vehicle title because it renders it null and void. So I had to get new vehicle titles for the whiteout that I mistakenly used. Again, some stuff you don't know. But again, not a huge mistake, cost me a few dollars, but in the grand scheme of things, not having to pay taxes is awesome. So, beautiful thing in addition to it, you never know what will happen when you ask. Last time, I had to go online myself, schedule an appointment, and it took a month to get another DMV appointment. And just kind of explaining my situation, that I was not interested in having to come back another month from now, I was able to get on the good graces of a manager who actually created an appointment for me. So that saved me a bunch of time. Instead of waiting another 30 days for an appointment, this time it's going to be 4 days later. So even if I don't get everything lined up exactly, it still saves me a ton of time. So I feel like I've learned a lot about how to work with the DMV during these days with the coronavirus I like to call it, in place. And you know what? Like, I'm running some errands while I'm down here. This was not like a lost effort. I thought the same thing last time. Going to grab some fried chicken from Publix, which my wife loves, as well as hitting up a milkshake place down here, which I love milkshakes. My family does as well. So, again, not a wasted effort. So, for any challenges that you actually have going on in your life, it's all about perspective. Don't look at what the setback is. Look at what you've actually been armed with. And when you look at that, you're going to realize that, you know what? The day was not in vain. All right? You still got something, and you ended up at a better place at the end of the day. And that's what we all want to actually hope for. So, got to come back to DMV again, but have a better game plan, have everything that I need to do. And you know what? If I got to come back another 10 times, it's going to get done. And I'm hoping it won't be another 10, but I'm the type of person persistent enough that if it will take 10, I will keep coming back 10 times to actually do it. Because when you want something in life, you have to be the person that just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going, even when life looks like it's working to stop you. So, I don't know if you have any plans for the DMV or doing anything with that, but I hope you learned from my experience today that you just don't quit. You just got to keep going. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson, this episode. You'll hear another one because I have to come back to the DMV, and hopefully that'll be the success story that I've been looking for. But I'm getting progress. So hope you are tackling whatever challenge you have in front of you, and don't stop. And I hope to catch you again on another episode. Bye.